Good morning. It's Miss Lacy and it's time for another check-in. I'm not sure if this is going to show up backwards on video or not, but my shirt says behavior is communication. And we talk about that a lot when we're have kiddos in the classroom and when I talk with families about their children's behaviors at home. We really don't see kids as being good or bad, or what they do as being good or bad. They're trying to let us know something. And children often use behavior as a way to communicate with us. Our children's brains are not fully developed when they are in our program. When we have children that are in our with family consultants or in our classrooms that are ages 0 to 5, children just don't have that ability to walk up to you and say, hey, you know what? I'm a little frustrated that you decided to make me take a bath and go to bed last night. That's not how it works, as you probably all know. And living at home with your kiddos constantly right now, you're probably getting lots of reminders, I'm guessing. So I'm going to spend the next 3 videos, today's and the next 2, talking about different places, different states in the brain that behavior comes from. Now, even though we're talking about our children, I want you to know all of us still go through each of these states all the time. So remember, when I do my check-ins, I'm really talking to you, the adults in the family, in the household, and giving you information to look at yourself, as well as understanding the behaviors that are coming from your kids. So today, let's look at the very first brain state, and this is the brain stem. The brain stem is the first part of the brain to get developed. It sits at the top of the spinal cord. It's way back here low, and it is the part of the brain that when we're functioning in this state, we are in a state of survival. And so the survival state looks like fight, flight, fear, or freeze. And you might think about what you look like when you're in any of those states. What do your kiddos look like? If you've got kids that are coming out swinging and they're hitting, or they're kicking, or they're biting, spitting, or running away and hiding, crawling under the table, standing behind the curtains, crawling under the covers, that is a signal to us that they are maybe functioning in this brainstem place. And what that behavior is trying to communicate to us is, am I safe? And it doesn't matter if we understand that they're safe. Remember, perception is reality. So if there's a real threat that these children or people, you are feeling, you can go to this fight, flight, freeze place. And if it's just a perceived threat, maybe we've had an experience before where a certain smell occurred, or a certain sound, or a certain phrase, or somebody's look on their face that might mean for us, for whatever reason, uh-oh, this is a threat, and then we could start to see those kinds of behaviors. So when you see that behavior, you have to think about, what do they need to feel safe? Trying to force them and explain to them isn't what that part of the brain needs right then. You think about yourself. If you're walking down, if you're driving home one night and it's late and you're out on a dark, deserted road and you have a flat tire, and you get out of the car and you're having to walk because your cell phone died or whatever, and you get a little away from your car, and then another car pulls up behind you and they're driving really slowly. In that moment, somebody lecturing you and telling you, you just need to, that's not going to be comforting and helpful. We all go into that place of survival. What do I need to do? It's just a part of our makeup of our brains and our bodies. So almost kind of a reflexive kind of thing. So here's a picture of information about the brainstem. As you can see, here it is in the brain. It's the very lower part of the brain, first part to develop. It's what helps us stay safe. It guides all those things like heartbeat and those reflexes, like if a ball's starting to come to us and might hit us, then it's what helps us to scrunch back and put our hands up in front of ourselves to protect us. When we see people that are functioning in this brain stem place, What do we do? How do we manage that? And this is the time to know, when we talked before about putting our mask on, um, understanding if we're seeing the glass half full or half empty. This is the time to start using all of those kinds of strategies and thinking about that. Having yourself composed, you're calm. If you are approaching somebody else, whether it's a child or an adult that's in the brainstem, the best way for you to help them is to be calm yourself. And don't say anything. You don't have to say anything, because at that point in time, they're not a place to be in their brain to be rationalized or to be talked to. It's going to be more about our presence. So get yourself calm. Get your brain and your body ready. You can approach them. You can sit beside them. If it's your children, hold them on your lap. Just, help soothe them. Help them get past that. If they don't want to be held at that time, sit next to them and just breathe. Give off of that vibe from you that you're calm, and you're going to download that calm to them. Sometimes when we're in the brainstem, that's what we need. We need somebody else to share their calm with us. So notice it and just breathe with them. Help them get through that moment. And then we'll talk about how to move them from the brainstem up to the next higher center in the brain, the limbic system, on the next one. Please, during this time, please know that we are all more stressed. We're living in a different way of doing things. It's very exhausting to live under constant stress as we have for these last several weeks. And when we do that, we can all go into a place of the brainstem. We might see more fighting, more aggression, whether that's physically or verbally, more fleeing, running away from things, being scared, feeling fearful. If anybody is feeling this way or noticing anything, or anybody else living in this state, and you need some help, please reach out to your teacher, your family consultant. Let us know. We have resources available to help right now, and we are ready and willing to hear from you and to help put some of that in place. Until we meet next time, take care of yourselves.